Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. Students, today we are going to revise our chapter 6, which is Adobe Photoshop CS6. So let's start our class. Students, we in Photoshop we learned about Thomas Knoll, right? So Thomas Knoll was the first person behind the Adobe Photoshop, or he is the person behind who developed the display program in 1987. Now, Photoshop was translated into 25 languages. It is a photo editing application software, and it allows us to create and modify digital images. Now, how to start Photoshop? So there were two methods we learned about it. First, by clicking on Start All Programs, we go to Adobe folder and then select Adobe Photoshop and double click on it. The second method was to click on Start All Program, and in the search field you type Adobe Photoshop or just the Photoshop. Now, if you remember, the second method is not given in your book, but this is also applicable to open an Photoshop application. Next we learned about was the components of Photoshop. If you remember, I discussed about menu bar, which has got a lot of menus and commands. We discussed about options bar, which has the option related to the tools. Then we spoke about the workspace, the area which contains the image which we are working on. It is also called as the image window or document window, and it is white in color. Next we discussed about was the tool panel. The tool panel offers various tools. You can see a lot of tools and different options being mentioned there, which we may need while working on Photoshop. Next we learned about was how to save a Photoshop file. To save a Photoshop file, we click on File, Save As. The Save As dialog box appears, and then we click on Save. Now similarly, we also discussed about creating a Photoshop file. Now when you create a Photoshop by clicking on File and New Menu option, you would see a new dialog box appear, and on the right hand side you will first, after assigning the name, you can adjust the width, height, resolution, color mode, as well as the background contents. So how to open an existing file? If you want to open an existing file, we click on File, Open. The Open dialog box will appear. We'll type the name of the file which we want to open, and we will click on OK. Students, this is the same method which we use to open any other application in our computer. Next comes is the selection tools. Now in tools panels there are different tools which are mentioned here, which is the marquee tool, lasso tool, quick selection tool, and crop tool. So these are some of the tools which are popularly used, and we should all know about this before we start Photoshop. Next we are going to talk about the marquee tool. Now marquee tool, as you can see, is here. It allows us to select different portion of an image in a selected range. Now there are four options, which are rectangular marquee, elliptical marquee, single row marquee, and single column marquee. Now there are different shapes, as you can see here, in which you can use this marquee tool for make a selection. Next comes is the lasso tool. The lasso tool is used to make a freehand selection in an image. What you have to do is you have to open an image, click on the small black arrow at the bottom of the tool. Students, if you remember, I spoke about this small triangle at the right bottom side, which indicates there are certain tools hidden in it. So what we do, once we click on it, we can go ahead and check and access all those information out there. Lasso tool is divided, there are three options in lasso tool. One is the lasso tool, second is the polygonal lasso, third is the magnetic lasso. Now polygonal, it allows us to select the polygonal areas when we click on different points and we join them. Magnetic lasso, it automatically sticks to the edges of the image. You don't have to exactly set the dots. You can just click on it, and once you finish your selection, you would see automatically it makes a selection of a particular color. Quick selection tool, which the selection tool is, as the name suggests, is used to quickly make a selection. We can just drag the mouse and the selection expands either outwards or in the defined edges in the image. Now, if you remember, it provides the great accuracy or the precision, right? So what you have to do, how will you open it? You just have to click on quick selection, drag the mouse over the image, and it will get selected. Next comes is the magic wand tool. Now this magic wand tool selects the adjacent area automatically. So you don't have to do anything here. It will just go ahead and make the selection by itself or automatically in the image. Now there are three things we do the settings here. One is the tolerance. It determines how closely the color should match, right? So if you are replacing the color, what should be the value of that color is set in the tolerance. Anti-alias, what should be the edges, whether you want to put a smooth edge or the partial filling the edge with the pixel is done in the anti-alias. And contagious, it lets us to select only adjacent area that share the same color. Crop tool, you have, most of you would be using it and most of you have already used it in Paint. Now this crop tool is used to select a specific area which we want to focus on, and you can remove the rest of the unwanted parts, right? For example, in an image of your friends or if your family, if you want to just separate your photo, you can use the crop tool, select your portion of image and then press enter. So what will happen, only your image will be left and rest all the other images will get removed from the work area. Now how to open this? You click on open image, you select the crop tool and automatically cropping option is enabled. Drag the handle and mouse outside the area which appears dark and press the enter button. The moment you press the enter button, the selection is finalized. See, after making the selection, sometimes we need to combine two images. To combine two images, we need to move one portion of an image to the other portion. This is done by move tool. So what it does, it drags the selected part of an image to a new location. It can be the same image or the new image. Now it can select the portion of an image. We need to select the move tool and place the pointer inside the selection area and drag the selection to the new location. So student, while dragging, if you are using a mouse, you have to ensure that you press the left key and take the cursor or take the mouse to the location where you want to save it and then release your cursor. This is called as drag and drop. Next comes is copying images. Now how do we copy images? Copy is a part of an image to another location. Copy can be done in the same location also and to a new location as well. And we can use Marquee tool or lasso tool to select the area. Next comes is the transform tool. So now transforming objects, you remember, we can, if you remember, I spoke about skew, rotate, distort, and how we apply any kind of a selection to an image. So there are various transform options, which is scale, rotate, skew, distort, perspective, or warp to the selected image. Now here, if you focus on skew means which is neither parallel nor right angle. Okay? So kind of it is like a crooked, right? The second thing is rotate. You know how to rotate things. Scale means to the length in which we want to set the image to. Distort means to make the image blur, right? Next comes is transforming objects. Now when we are talking about transforming objects, you can see with this 4 example here. The first one is the original image. The second one is the layer flipped, as if I have flipped the image from one portion to another, or we are looking at a transparent back portion of a picture, right? Third one is to select the border which we want to rotate, and the last one is part of the object which is scaled. So students, if you compare C and D, you can see a design is being formed on the image, and it tells us which direction we can move into. And in the D picture, if you see, it also tells us the direction which is different from the one which is mentioned in C. Next comes is the drawing tools. Now Adobe Photoshop has a collection of drawing tools, right, which is rectangle and rounded rectangle, ellipse and polygonal, and custom shape. So first we are going to talk about the shape tool. So shape tool is used to draw different shapes in Photoshop. If you want to draw any shape, you can use rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse, polygonal, line tool, and custom shape tool. Now in custom shape tool is used to draw a variety of preset images. What does preset means? Preset means that Adobe gives us few designs, by default few designs which are there, which we can use it in our image, like the no parking sign, the arrow sign, the email sign, right, and the scissor, the flower, right. All these things you will find it there, which you can go ahead and use it. This is called as the custom shape tool. After that, what comes in is the painting tool. Now painting tool helps us to change the fill color. Whatever color is being filled, we can go ahead and change them. There are 6 painting tools. One is the brush tool, pencil tool, color replacement tool, history brush tool, paint bucket tool, and gradient tool. Next comes is the color picker tool. Now what does color picker tool does? Color picker tool lets you to select the foreground as well as the background color of an image. The currently selected foreground color gets displayed in the upper box. Students, in your book, in page number 97, there was a correction which I would ask you to do it. Instead of background, please strike it and write it foreground on top of it, because you can see that background mentioned twice in this sentence. So the foreground color gets displayed in the upper box, and the background color will displayed at the lower box. So there are 2 boxes, one is the top box and one is the lower box. So these are the 2 boxes they are talking about. By default, the foreground color is black and the default background color is white. Next, color replacement tool replaces color of an image with the color of foreground. Tolerance determines how close the color should match with the original image, and limits adjacent pixel which same color should be replaced or not. What you might find some other colors also there. Do you want those colors also to change to yes or no? Is done by the limits. Next comes is the gradient tool. Now gradient tool helps us to fill consisting of 2 or more colors and blend them together, right? So blending means mixing together. So there are 5 types of gradient tool we discussed about. Linear, which is line; radial, which is kind of circular in shape; angle means like the angle, right angle, or 45-degree angle, kind of that. Reflected, kind of a reflection it is showing, and diamond means diamond shape. So students, this brings us to the end of the class. I hope you were able to get your doubts cleared, if any, and just in case if you still have any doubts, please reach me through the comment section. In our homework, we will do question number, which is an extra question. Which tool do you think is important and why? So this is the question we will be doing here, and if you have any questions, you can reach it out to me. So thank you for your time, students, and have a good day ahead.